So, a little over 20 years ago, we had what was actually one of the first big broadcasts of an E3 press conference, one of the most anticipated ever. The PlayStation 3 2006 E3 press conference, and it went horribly. We're going to be talking about today here on episode 90 of I Think We Overleveled, where I am slowly melting because our AC froze and we had to turn on the heater to de-thaw it. So we're going to see if I'm in a solid state by the end of this podcast. How is everyone today?
Doing all right.
Okay, don't all talk
Still
at once.
a little sore, but still good.
I'm okay.
Sore?
Yeah, I went into a big hole.
Yeah, I can imagine. What hole did you go into?
The Grand Canyon.
Oh,
Wait,
Baggins
you
just
left the
reminded.
state of California,
Yeah. I went even to Arizona.
and you were just giving me guff.
Oh, I know because I know.
Look, where I live, it's pretty much the same thing anyway.
I was gonna say you're getting more the same.
It's actually a few degrees cooler.
Because you're on that side of the Catalinas, so yes.
Anyway, so I'll be honest. I wasn't that plugged in. I wasn't exactly a PlayStation person. I didn't own the 1 or the 2. But it was more the reaction to this press conference that I was a fan of. And
So young, just saying.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's 20 years ago, so it's a long time. But the bigger thing to me is I really feel like in a lot of ways this was kind of... It showed us what was going to happen going forward in terms of the discourse between gamers and the companies. Because this was kind of... 2006, YouTube is still kind of not a full thing yet.
If anything.
And,
Well,
and
I remember
E3...
that was the year someone. I was just saying that's. I remember that was around the time someone said, "Hey, I need to try out this thing called Gmail. I hear it's pretty good."
Yeah. And more
People have
importantly...
their own video player. I don't know if people remember.
Yeah. Well, this is the other thing.
That Divx.
The E3 press conference was still... It hadn't fully morphed into what it would become, where it was for the gamers. It was still somewhat for the industry.
Yeah.
And that's part of the problem for this press conference. You can tell, but like that graphic they just showed. That's just a PowerPoint slide showing units sold and stuff like that. And this is a big moment for them because that number right there, that 103.6 million, that was them overtaking what had been the previous highest selling console all time, which was the PS1. So
Yep.
to say that PlayStation and Sony in general were probably a little bit cocky, they had made 2 consoles and each time had outsold everything else. The only thing that could claim to be higher was the Game Boy / Game Boy Color, but I still don't like that they bundle those two together because those are 2 different consoles in my mind. Anyway, and so they're thinking pretty strongly, we're kind of awesome, and everyone's just going to get our stuff. And so I think there was a little bit of hubris.
There was justification for it.
Oh, yeah, no.
They were great.
And to be fair, like you look at the design specs of the PS3, they shoved the entire kitchen sink, the entire kitchen, the living room next door, and
turned
bedroom
it
and the bathroom as well.
Well, at the start
I mean,
of
it
this...
had a compact flash disc slot, for goodness sakes. Like,
Yeah.
it had everything. You
Astro
could install Linux on it. I mean, like, it was insane.
Well, on top of that, I mean, literally at the start of this press conference, the thing he says is we're not interested in making incremental improvements. And that makes sense. They're still at this point selling tons of PlayStation 2s because the PlayStation 2 stuff is still selling worldwide. I mean, they're still selling them in Brazil. I can easily see the business justification of saying we don't want to make it unless it's going to be a big jump to justify it. But old Kaz Hirai here, this thing. Look, let's just start with the elephant in the room. When they finally announced the price of $599 US, which right now, yeah, we would kill for $599 US for a console.
It's pretty good now, doesn't it?
It does, but if you don't mind,
a year ago though, even a year ago, that was still
But let me. I sat down and I hit some numbers. First of all, the big thing to remember is, so it was $499 for the 20 gigabyte and $599 for the 60 gigabyte. When you're giving 3 times the hard drive space for $100 more, it's clear they're kind of using the $499 just to kind of anchor you so that you're just like, oh, I might as well spend the extra $100 to get the extra 40 gigabytes. And
40 gigabytes.
Yeah. But hey, at
I'm
the
trying to
time,
remember, both of those models were still backwards compatible, right? Yeah, both of them were. Yeah.
Here's the biggest thing, though. $599 US in 2006 is the equivalent of $988 right now.
Yeah,
which
it was a lot.
You're like,
about
that's
what the Steam Deck is right now.
about what the Steam Deck is. But I want to remind you, the reason the Steam Deck costs that now is because the Rampocalypse is happening. This is 2006. There is no Rampocalypse. They decided to come out swinging at that price point because they thought there's no way they weren't going to buy it. More importantly, the Nintendo Wii was selling for $250, and the Xbox 360 Premium was at $450, or was it $400? So you could buy both consoles for $650. That's how much more expensive this was than everything else.
And I think they still sold it at a loss. I mean,
yes.
They put too much
they made
stuff
a custom chip was a big part of it, from what I understand.
Well, yeah, custom chip, way more ports than it needed. I mean, to be fair, a lot of the things were kind of nice features because, like, the 360 had severe issues. I mean, it didn't have HDMI output initially.
That's right. Yeah.
You had to buy a separate disc drive if you wanted it to play DVDs, and
because they were going in on HDD.
And so, like, you had to buy all sorts of stuff. You had to buy a separate Wi-Fi adapter if you wanted to use the Wi-Fi on the 360. So, like, the 360 just had so many things gutted compared to the PS3 that you had to buy separate. So if you added all the 360 accessories to be able to do everything the PS3 could, I don't know how different.
And Crystal Chalice,
Okay, you've got to stop referencing obscure Penny Arcade comics.
That's what we're here for.
It is so niche. Okay, the other problem they had, but
the end result is the PS3. They just put so much in it that they couldn't lower the price that much. Like, I think they were still selling it at a loss at that price point.
Yeah, but one of the other problems they had is what their launch lineup was. Like, here's the list of the 14 titles available on the on day
PlayStation
one.
3 launch.
Yeah, Resistance, Fall of Man. I don't even know what that is.
I've heard of it. I've heard of it.
Shooter.
I don't know. Someone I bought their PSP at a garage sale and it had the PSP Resistance game. Never played it.
Doesn't stop Clive Owen?
I don't know.
That's Privateer 2, The Darkening.
But
no, that's Children of Men.
Call of Duty 3, but that's not a console exclusive. Madden 07, not a console exclusive. Marvel Ultimate Alliance, not a console exclusive.
Oh yeah, that was a fun game.
I have never heard of this. Blazing Angels: Squadrons of World War II.
It was a World War II combat. It was a World War II combat flight sim. I actually own it.
Oh, okay.
Not on the
Mobile Suit
PlayStation,
Gundam
of course,
Crossfire, which that was, I don't know if that was.
That's a hit in Japan.
Yeah,
I mean, that could sound cool. I mean,
Yeah.
Gundam's always good.
could be.
But I don't
Untold
know on that
Legends
one.
Dark Kingdom. Don't know
no
that.
one told me that
Nope.
one.
Don't know that one.
NBA 07, okay. NHL 2K,
That's
okay.
exclusive.
Tony Hawk's Project 8, which is on my. I don't even remember that title.
Project 8?
Project
That-
8.
That had to have had a different title. I don't know. Like,
My list says that's what it is. Tiger Woods PGA Tour 07.
all these sports titles.
Yeah,
but,
That's a
yeah.
ton of sports titles.
Something
Jeez.
called Blast Factor.
That sounds like a crummy like Peggle type game to
It's,
me.
well, man, it's amazing you say that because it's a downloadable pack-in style puzzle game.
There you go.
And there's 2 more games that were on the launch title. One of them is Ridge Racer 7.
That one.
And the other one is called Genji Days of the Blade, but we knew it as Genji 2.
Yep,
It's an
Genji
action
2.
game.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry, we'll get there. And then in the broader like launch window, you also had Full Auto 2 Battle Lines. Don't know what that is. Need for Speed Carbon.
That's actually a good
Okay.
one.
I
Okay.
think that was a decent.
It's not an exclusive, though.
No, I liked Most Wanted. I've never got to play Carbon, but
I had a roommate that would play Carbon quite a bit.
It was the follow-up to Most Wanted 2005, and Most Wanted 2005 is arguably one of the best Need for Speed games.
Yeah, yeah.
Tom Clancy's
prefer the
Rainbow Six
underground
Vegas.
That was a big deal.
That was a
Rainbow
big
Six
deal.
Vegas, yeah.
I actually
NB
own that one too.
NBA
exclusive.
2K7, so another sports game, but again, not
Okay,
exclusive.
The next years.
And one that definitely was not an exclusive, Sonic 06.
Sonic 06. Oh,
Wait, that was on the
I-
PlayStation? I thought that was Xbox exclusive.
Oh no, I played it on the PlayStation. I tried to play it on the PlayStation.
I was gonna like, do you want to offer a correction here? Oh my
I
goodness,
attempted
they're
it.
cringe ads as well. This was
it's
part
the
of it.
people on the street.
Okay, we're gonna
Project
go back.
06 exists.
Get ready to turn on your sound. We're gonna react to this. Let's see. Do I have the ability to control with the air? No, I don't. Well, I'm gonna unmute this.
So please stick around and enjoy.
And we'll just start. These ads are
We'll
so.
enjoy.
Look, we're hip and cool.
Tiffany.
Billy Morgan, Kevin Kendra. My name's Brett. I'm out here enjoying.
They actually gave their names. Oh man.
Center of the universe. So you lost your PlayStation.
I've been playing PlayStation for about
10 years plus.
The PlayStation 1, I thought it was the coolest thing because it played CDs.
for this Discord Blue and stuff.
The old system. What I love about the PlayStation is the feel of the controller in my hands. I like the hard plastic and the little knobby bits.
The little knobby bits?
Nobby bits.
Wow. I mean, I love the PlayStation controller, but I would never use that phrasing. Wow.
Yeah. Look, they're British. It's like if you told me there was some sort of British dish called nuts and bolts, I'd believe you. Like
Yeah.
they just English different than us. It's okay. But
I thought that was
still,
a Banjo-Kazooie game.
it is that. But the thing is, so far it's everything like. No, we're not. We want to show that we have cool gamers because we're cool. We're hip. Like this is totally out of the Sega early '90s playbook. The cool kids play us. But
Eagerly awaiting the PlayStation 3. Yeah, definitely waiting for that. I've been waiting forever. Well, I heard that.
That guy. Oh man.
Crazy.
The guy with the long hair.
Like you are that character.
the graphics
Oh.
are like crazy,
Or the graphics are like crazy. Yes.
as if that's useful information at all.
My name's Liam. My name's Adam.
But yeah, anyway, it goes on like this for a while.
The guys in London are fun. No, it was yeah.
But
The
no.
New York guys are the best.
Anyway, I'm gonna remute it, so you guys might want to do that as well. But yeah, this is part of it. This is one of the things that I talk about. It's I think it's kind of the harbinger. This is clear that the marketing team thought this is who we want to advertise our. This is what a PlayStation gamer is. This is what a marketing team wants you to think a gamer is, because they're embarrassed by what a gamer is. Because let's be real, when we were going to Quark, most of the people in Quark, they didn't look like this.
Well, I don't know. One of those guys.
Yeah, him. He looks like one.
Yes.
Look, I don't know why this is, but you go to Quark, there are two body types. It is short and round or an absolute scarecrow. I don't know why that is, but every nerd group I've ever been to, it's just true. That is the predominant two body types. But they're like, no, look at all the cool people who are doing it. And so,
dare I ask what you considered all of us? No.
Brett and Gordon were short and round. You were a stick.
Short and round.
And I used to be more stickly, and I've become short and round. So don't worry about it.
Yeah, same here.
But more to the point, this is the first problem. It's clear this is the marketing group, and in a lot of these companies, the marketing group just doesn't understand who their customers are at all.
I'm gonna beat you.
Oh, okay.
This one.
Okay. Yes.
This guy was the best.
Well, this guy screams video game journalist to me.
Yeah, this guy does at least look like a gamer, though, too. Yeah.
Well, he looks like... Who is it? Like Nick Calandra? I don't know. So he looks like a game journalist.
Oh, we missed it. There you go. Yeah.
I'm gonna beat you, and it's gonna hurt because I don't know.
Because I don't know.
I don't understand what their goal was with this one. All right, remuting. Okay. But yeah, this is...
Oh, you unmuted? I didn't realize. Oh, well.
Yeah, no worries. All right. So this whole thing is just such a disaster, but this is part of it, and why I kind of view this as like the harbinger of what it was, because the marketing team puts it out and it's like, oh, they're going to love it. The internet saw it, and the internet collectively said, what the crap was that? And started making fun of it. And this is the first time gamers could really, at least through the power of the internet, really make their voice heard in kind of a... The only term I could think of is just like amateur journalism way. Where...
Except it took Sony forever to hear them, though. Because it didn't stop them from making...
The social media wasn't,
It didn't stop them from making the crying baby doll commercial to market it.
Don't worry about that. But like we said...
Their cell processor, there you go.
Look, it's impressive hardware. It really is.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever attempted to play more than 4 people on a PlayStation, but sure, dude, 7 players, yes.
Dude, I had a professor who had a lab full of PS3s that he had installed Linux on and made it into, like, some compute server farm. Like, that was his research project. Like, it was a pretty impressive system, but yeah, they made... Probably not the best design for a video game console, though.
Well, the other thing is, so we talked about how the PlayStation 1
chrome
was
finish that made it look like a grill.
But the PlayStation,
dude, I actually love the finish. I love the look. I love the curve. I actually love the design. I know some people made fun of it. I love it.
Better in black, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I had the black one. And
I would not get the Foreman shiny grill.
And mine died, and I had to replace it with the PS3 Slim, and it just doesn't look as nice. I know some people like the Slim look better, but I like the original fat. I don't know. It had style. The black one specifically. Yeah. I don't know. I like chrome in general too, but
we were talking about how the PlayStation 1 was the highest selling console all time, and then the PlayStation 2 at this point had barely beaten it. And so they're riding high on their horse. But what's kind of forgotten is why those two were the highest selling. And part of it is because PlayStation went aggressively and said, we want to make it super accessible to the players and super accessible to the developers.
Well, yeah, it is a very, very stark contrast to the first E3, which was the first one they showed up, but it was the first one ever in 1995.
How so?
So, in 1995, which started out where, I mean, I can't even remember. Did Nintendo even show up? I'm not even sure they did.
I wasn't even paying attention to E3, so you're telling me.
Well, the thing is, 95 was not one that was publicized on the internet. Like, it wasn't.
Well, no,
open
because
for
internet
games.
was barely, a thing then.
And the presentation, it wasn't just for the industry. It was namely for, like, investors. Like, it was very cut and dry, and just, it felt like more like, instead of a big
shareholders meeting,
a shareholders meeting, or even like a professor giving a sermon. Wait, sermon's not the right word. A lecture.
Lecture.
Seminar. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. But like, 3DO came up and they said like, oh, we're such a great value because we are offering adult channels that you can get that the other consoles don't, which was a really weird thing to say at E3. And then Sega comes up and they have this huge presentation. They're like, oh, look at everything we have on this Sega Saturn. The Sega Saturn's so awesome. It has all these games, has everything. It's like, I have that, and then the Sega guy goes through this whole spiel about every feature in the Saturn and how great it is. And he says, and it is available today, and priced between $399 and $449. And you can buy it today at your electronics boutique, or EB Games, or what was the other one? Maybe GameStop, whatever. And so they had this huge speech, and so Sony, they have their small little presentation, which, they had their pre-rendered video, and then the person comes up and says, all right, I'd like to introduce the Sony guy, and he's just going to say a few words, and I guess let's unmute and listen to him say it.
$299.
That's all he said.
That's all he said. He just gets up and says $299, cutting them by their lower number by $100. Says it, sits down, cheers in the audience, and that was all he had to do to completely crush Sega and destroy any momentum Sega had. Is they realized we just have to undercut them in the price with a similarly powered console. We come in at that price point, we will destroy Sega. And they did. The Saturn was an absolute failure.
Yeah, I mean, this as part of my prep, the Saturn sold, where was it? I had that. The Saturn sold 9.26 million units. It sold less than the Dreamcast.
So 9.6 million versus PS1's
102.
I was like, I'm impressed they got over a few million.
Yeah.
I didn't know anyone that had one.
Oh, well, Sega, they went, in Japan, they went really hard on the marketing. Have you seen any Sagata Sanjuro commercials?
I have.
They're a fun ride if you ever have time to look up.
He's basically the Japanese Chuck Norris.
Yes, he's the Japanese Chuck Norris whose sole goal is to sell Sega Saturns, and it's hilarious.
But anyway, but that was the thing, is they made it super accessible to the market, but the biggest thing was going to their non-proprietary CDs. It made it super accessible to the developers. Something that's kind of Steam's strategy right now, where they're trying to make it as easy for people to publish games as possible. And so all the cool new games that weren't first party were on PlayStation.
Well, I mean, and that's a huge point too. The CDs made that so they can use as much data as they needed, especially because they could span CDs, and the manufacturing cost was a fraction. Like
they didn't have to build a cartridge.
Like a cartridge is like $20, and like a CD, still to this day, manufacturing a CD is like a quarter. Nothing. And this is even a problem this problem has resurfaced today with the Switch 2. Because the Switch, they at least had options of, if you want to spend $10 if your game's smaller, you can fit it on the $10 cartridge, or you could go to the $15 cartridge or the $20 cartridge. We have a small, medium, and large. so you don't have to pay as much if your game it doesn't need it. But the Switch 2, they're like, oh, you either need to have, it's like we only have one size, or you could just have just the game key card if you don't want to spend the full amount. And so the Switch 2, like, is once again making the same mistake the 64 did, making just too expensive on the cartridge. But
That's why they opted for the key cards as a physical drives as a key card.
Yeah, because they didn't want to have a small, medium, and large like they did with the Switch, which was their solution to keep the manufacturing costs down for the publishers. But yeah, making it easy on the publisher is a big deal. That also, yeah.
But one of the other things, I don't. This is one where I don't know as much, but I went down a rabbit hole of trying to look for all of Gabe Newell's interviews because he doesn't do them a lot, and on one of them, he was talking about where he thought things were going, and this was clearly like around 2010-ish, I want to say, and he started complaining about the PlayStation 3. How it's difficult to program, because he talked about how they had something called synergistic processing elements that made it difficult to program because it was parallel core program or something. It was something weird where he could never, like, they were trying to localize Half-Life, I think, for the PlayStation 3, Half-Life 2, I mean. And
well, yeah, for the, I'm trying to think, didn't the orange box also make it to the PS3, or was that just 360?
Yeah, I think it did. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it did. And so, but he was talking about
like, this is before multi-threading was a very common thing, right? Like this is still early in that.
Yeah, it's way ahead of the curve, and so it wasn't as easy on the developers as the previous versions had been, and so they suddenly had a situation where they kind of had forgotten what made the PS1 and PS2 such big sellers, because the price point wasn't for the audience, and it was more difficult to program for than it had been before. And then on top of it, they didn't. I mean, we went over the launch titles. Terrible launch lineup. Just nothing but generic. And I mean, how many of that was sports games? Like all over the place. Just generic games.
Yeah, so, that many sports game in a row puts a gamer like me to sleep. Like, seriously.
Yeah. Well, and especially like this is the kind of the height of Call of Duty, like that, because Call of Duty 3 was on that, and that was when Call of Duty wasn't churning out every 5 minutes slop, and so that was at least a good title.
Well, that, and the other thing is if you think about it, PlayStation, thanks to being the first one to go to disc, gave themselves a monopoly on RPGs, right? And their entire lineup and their entire future thing, not a single RPG even mentioned.
There was one. It was an action RPG, Genji 2.
Had real-time weapons change.
Okay, it's time to bite this. We turn on the sound. We're gonna do this.
We sent a message here. PlayStation 3 is not an incremental upgrade.
What's going on?
It's paused.
Is someone hitting buttons?
To our previous platforms.
I think I did.
But is truly designed to advance our vision for computer entertainment today. It requires
the editing on this is so good.
$599, but we must take.
Okay, his delivery of $599 is so hilarious. $599. It sounds like a carny.
Take risks to reap the rewards.
I think he was just trying to keep a neutral tone so as to not make a big deal out of it because he knew people were going to react.
And we're not about cutting corners to rush a product to market. Whoops. And we're certainly not interested in gimmicks.
So today we have the Eye of Judgment. See, I place a card onto the screen here, and a monster instantiates.
Instantiates. It's like the Harris's. The Eye of Judgment.
Well, I mean, instantiate is a very programmer term to use.
No bones about it, but like to the average layperson, like what the heck?
Well, it's one of those. Why did you get a programmer to do a press conference?
Well, and that's part of the
Blizzard
issue
made
here.
The same mistake. Yeah.
Well, and this is part of the issue is this is early on. They're bringing on what they feel. These are the subject matter experts. We're going to bring them on. But it's clear some of them aren't built for this type of this type of thing. Like it's just they don't know, and because they're thinking of this in terms of this is a tech expo.
How many titles did they sell of this Eye of Judgment? I'm curious now.
Let's see. Let's ask AI how many Eye of Judgments were sold for PS3. Let's see what it says. It's popping it out, and it's still thinking. Well, it's still thinking. So, but the other thing earlier, they showed how you could use the PSP as a rear view mirror. From a technological aspect, actually kind of cool. Like, in terms of, that's actually something you could do. Okay. Grok thinks the Eye of Judgment sold approximately 300,000 to 340,000 units worldwide.
Oh, wow.
Blew the doors off, I'm sure.
Yep, definitely.
Holy cow, it's not even on VG charts. Whoa. What?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, I mean, like, I think did it require you to have the stupid eye to work? I mean, that's what they were showing there.
Yeah.
Probably. I mean,
and
that's probably why it was called Eye of Judgment.
Yeah, I mean, like, and I'm sure that probably hampered the uptake there because you had to buy an extra thing.
Well,
I'm sure that's true. If
on top of that, getting
games as well.
Getting back to our point.
That's a whole topic there.
But getting back to our point, we're not about gimmicks, and you can see them using the PSP as a rear view mirror. But think about that for this feature, which I do think is kind of a cool idea. The PSP costs $200. And so you're already $599 in. So for you to have the pleasure of this full experience, we need another extra $200, which in today's money is probably an extra what, $350 or something. It's just, this is bougie as all get out.
And we're certainly not interested in gimmicks.
So you can position this next to your TV screen and see for yourself what is coming up behind you.
And we're
technologically impressive.
Also, though, how many hands do you need to play this game?
Well, he said you have to place it near your TV, so you would have to have some way to stand it. This is, to be honest, this is part of the problem Nintendo started having with the Wii U years later.
Well, like your living space has to be set up for this.
Well, actually, what they're showing off is actually, I mean, it's an extension of a really cool feature that could apply to most games. Because I do think this was probably an inspiration for, well, the Wii U, which that's another topic too.
Yes.
But the fact that you could use your PSP and later your Vita as a screen to play your PS3 and PS4 games. So
which, for 2006, again, impressive technology to stream video that.
Sounds like a pimp your ride kind of joke in there, but yes.
It was a little laggy, but it was still cool. I tried to do that to play the Bionic Commando Rearmed, the 2D one that was awesome. That was a remake that was amazing, actually.
Certainly not interested in.
But I remember playing that on the PSP from the PS3. That was pretty neat.
Thinking.
Genji 2
is
an action game, which is based on Japanese history.
The essence of the PlayStation DNA is real change.
The editing on this is so good.
The stages of the game will also be based on famous battles which actually took place in ancient Japan. So here's this giant enemy crab.
The editing on that is so good. Smash cut. So here's this giant enemy crab.
Based on actual battles that took place in ancient Japan.
This goes back to what you're talking about. Who is this program? It's clear with all the ums and everything, this is not someone who is trained to be in front of a crowd. This is someone who's
a guy in the back office. I mean, I'm sure he's probably amazing, but
I'm sitting here looking at it. It's like, he's clearly the subject matter expert. Who are we going to bring on? How about the guy who's in charge of it? That makes sense. But they don't get that this isn't a tech, like, because at a tech expo, you're used to, okay, yeah, we're going to deal with some engineers who might be a little awkward, but they have the information. But they don't understand the world is changing, and E3 is far bigger than you realize. Because I think at this point, G4, it was either this year or the next, G4 started covering E3 and would have, like, coverage all day of it. And so it was starting to get out into the general nerd sphere. All right, here we go.
As we gear up for November launch, we're very excited to share with you the phenomenal progress we've made in just a year's time. When we entered the portal...
But yeah, anyway, you were going to say something?
Oh, I was just saying how there are still, like, comedy tubers today still talk about all the wars with crabs in Japan.
Yeah. Well, and that's part of the thing is it went viral, and I don't think they were ready for that. Or the PSP stuff is funny.
With PlayStation Portable, I often receive two questions: why did you wait so long, and why now? One single answer: the ability to offer the right product strategy at the right time. It's Ridge Racer. Ridge Racer! And as the global leader, our mission at Sony Computer Entertainment is to create products that truly inspire and entertain fans around the world.
I heard that the graphics on it was crazy.
Just that actual Sony ad.
PlayStation 3 is powered by Cell. We have invested billions of dollars and hundreds of thousands of man-hours with power rivaling that of supercomputers, but is uniquely designed to support massive data processing required for digital entertainment. The essence of the PlayStation DNA is real
this
change.
is so good.
So, what does all this mean? Ridge Racer! We are giving the content creators unprecedented power to express their creativity and for the consumers to emotionally connect with and to enjoy the content that is created with a level of interaction, sophistication, and reality that has
We're getting
never
some
been experienced
reverb from you, breakfast.
with any other platform.
A lot of great new features for this game. Features as real-time weapon change.
With PlayStation 3, we are taking...
What is the point he's trying to make there?
I don't know.
I'm like, surely there have been other games where you could change the weapon. Like, I can't believe, like Doom, you could do this. Like, I don't know.
Mega Man X. Mega Man X, you can do it with a button.
Like, maybe if he unsheathed, like sheathed one weapon, pulled out the other, or something.
There wasn't even an animation for it. Like, it just like boop in his hand. It instantiated.
Weapon change.
With PlayStation 3, we are taking it to the next level.
To flip over this crab on its back. And you attack its weak point for massive damage.
The next level.
Attack its weak point for massive damage.
Our development teams all around.
The memes of that one. I still say that, like,
The massive damage, yes.
I use the phrase massive damage to reference this all the time. I don't know. As much as people mock it, come on, isn't life better because of the hilarity of it?
No, it's
absolutely,
great.
Absolutely.
It's wonderful. But that's the point. The other reason why I say it's kind of the harbinger for how the internet would going forward is moments of disaster become enduring legacies that we look back on fondly. Like,
at the time, it was scorn and disdain, and you get the look of this guy. And now it's charming.
Oh yeah. Well, heck, like, I can't wait for the Concord jokes that are going to come out in 5 years.
Oh my gosh!
Like, it's gonna be great. I'm looking forward to it. But okay, I'm gonna rewind just a little bit. But for this era, again, graphics, they look really good. This is good. This is good.
For
Pretty
massive
good, pretty
damage.
solid. Yeah.
Oh no, the
Our
graphics were
development
great.
Teams all around the world, in all of our studios, have been hard at work converting that technology and vision into magic.
Another exciting aspect is the ability for consumers to make microtransactions to $599 US.
I think that game was called Harken.
Discovering what kind of muscle this machine really has.
It shows the rhino
And you can
again.
see from all of the games that we have up and running on PlayStation 3 that we're really starting to push what this machine is capable of.
Real-time weapon change.
It's exhilarating.
This guy, it's
Oh, this
exhilarating.
guy.
Creating for the PlayStation 3 is inspiring.
So,
Get that guy off of
that sums
Ambien.
up our playable section.
But inside this body, we have added powerful and elegant system.
Oh, it's so herky-jerky.
Well, it
Oh
was,
my
I
gosh.
think it's a fantastic innovation.
We have shown you that PlayStation 3 is the most advanced computer entertainment system in the world.
I'm gonna beat you, and it's gonna hurt because I don't know.
what?
Oh yes, and then the pitch.
Get the
get
Wii
both of
and-
them.
But this is the part I'm most curious about. Wii60.com. I went and looked.
Is that website still there?
Well, it's there, but it's clearly been bought by someone else, and I am
Squatted.
fairly certain I have,
Yeah.
like, my computer has STDs now or something.
Oh no.
We're
no.
gonna be doing a scan after the stream today just to be sure. So I don't know what this site was, but yeah, there was a whole pitch that went with it. Okay, remute it, and we'll just go back to the thing. Is this video like went insane when it happened? Cause it perfectly encapsulated it, which again, harbinger of things to come. Smash cuts like that are like the bread and butter of a lot of these YouTube channels.
Yeah,
now.
like Dino Flask. You know,
Exactly.
with the wrestle with Jeff, prepare for death.
Good times. But it's just incredible to kind of see how this all started, where it went. But the thing that really took off, and this is a
Wow,
blast
they
for the
didn't.
what?
I'm just surprised he didn't show the old man face part of the presentation. They're
Old
like,
man
oh, look
face?
at how realistic we can make faces look, and it had like this old man's face that they were animating, and it's just like, why did you choose that face? But I'm surprised he didn't throw that in his.
I don't think I know
that
this
part I've
one.
forgotten. Okay, I'll have to go looking. But the thing I remember as far as memes go was all the stuff that came from you'rethemannowdog.com.
Oh yeah.
Like the one I always remember is smash cutting.
I was Splice's sommelier.
Yeah, yes, you were. But the smash cut
of the finest vintages.
of Kevin Spacey as he's playing Lex Luthor in
Oh,
Superman Returns
yes, Lex
with
Luthor,
Kaz
yes.
Hirai. Say it. Say the thing. It's Ridge Racer. Ridge Racer. No. The other one.
no,
The PlayStation 3 will retail for $599 US. Wrong. Which is one of their favorite meme templates of the time.
Okay, now that I mention, I'm trying to find it, but you know what I find instead?
What?
Where they got the idea. The Half-Life 2 G-Man.
Yes,
old man
100%.
face animation. They were ripping off Valve.
Off Valve stuff, huh? Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
but the thing is, because that, in terms of bleeding edge at the time, like, because I remember, because the Half-Life 2 demo came out in 2003 or 4. It was somewhere around there, and it only made the hype for Half-Life 2 just far more insane, and then it got delayed several times. I don't think it came out till
After our
08?
mission. Oh, I didn't play it until then.
Maybe it came out in 06. Yeah, 06, I think.
I think it came out. It was already out when we were back.
Yeah, but it was just one of those things that it was revolutionary. And because the biggest thing that was the innovation with the faces was, one, they put an insane amount of work into the eyes. It was something Gabe's talked about it before, how one of the things they wanted to do with it was eyes aren't just spheres. There's a lot of really weird biology that goes on in there that we are very attuned to as a species to tell what you're looking at. And so they put a ton of work into that. But the other thing was the fact that they had the rig keyed up so that you could easily switch how the mouth moved depending upon the language. Like, very similar to how VTuber technology actually works now, where it looks for the sound actually instead of having to hand rig it.
Oh, so it could pick out consonants.
Yeah, and so it moves the mouth as needed. Now, they can still tweak it if they need to, but it made it a lot more fluid. And so it was, at the time, insane, like just way ahead of the curve. And so it makes sense why they would kind of want to show off, hey, look at what we can do. Because, I mean, clearly they were trying to sell this on how cutting edge it is. I mean, you don't sell it at that price and say it's anything other than that. But the memes were, and mostly on YTMND, we're just all over the place.
Was this the same conference where the air conditioning in a car?
Somewhere in there, yeah. I don't remember what it was, though.
I think the context, he was actually talking about the online connectivity for the PlayStation Network and how it was going to be as common and as essential as air conditioning in a car.
Well,
which actually, that in of itself is, it was a little like, really, like always online, really,
Well, and to be fair, online multiplayer gameplay was free on the PS3.
Yep.
Unlike on the 360.
Oh, you didn't need a sub then.
You did not.
Oh.
Do you know what's amazing? You still don't if you're just a PC gamer.
But back then, it didn't.
Well, and that's something, because
never online gamed on a console.
The next generation, that was what Microsoft would get lambasted for and get bullied out of. But I can't remember who I was listening to was talking about it, but apparently Sony was going to do the same thing with always online connectivity with the PS4, but then they saw what happened with the Xbox and how they got absolutely excoriated. And so when it came time for them to come out, they're like, oh yeah, this is how easy it is to share a game on the PlayStation. And they did their little ad handing it over.
Yeah, which, I mean that's a short enough ad that we could just pull it up. But, I mean, it's like they did learn lessons from how the launch of the PS3 did go so poorly.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's the thing. They realized, well, how did we absolutely destroy the Sega? It's like, oh, right, because we did something to really undercut them. And so when it came to the PS4, they're like, oh, that's what we need to do right out the gate, just like we did to Sega, and just completely undercut the competition. And they did it by saying, oh, no, discs are discs, and you can share them.
Yeah, well, I mean, they actually, I feel, learned their lessons within the generation. Because
oh yeah, I mean yes, they absolutely did.
Because I mean, it took them like I think it was like 6 years, but they ended up overtaking the Xbox 360 in sales. Now, neither of them beat the Wii because the Wii went crazy, but for very different reasons.
Crazy viral.
But it was just one of those things where. Because I believe they got, because with the Slim, they got the price down to get it more accessible.
I mean, they cut tons of features, which is sad, but they needed to bring that price down.
And
absolutely
not all the features were really utilized. I mean, when the
backwards compatible to the PS2.
I mean, like many consoles. I mean, the full capabilities of the console are never completely utilized at launch. But I don't know PlayStation 3's fancy bespoke processor. I think it took quite a while before people really figured out how to take advantage of it.
Well, the other thing that was a big deal was their first party titles started picking up. Like, this is so unheard of now. The entire Uncharted trilogy happened on the PS3.
That's right.
Yeah, it did.
Wow.
Like, they were turning out games of quality quickly.
Oh no, I mean that is the reason why. One, they did stuff to cut down the price, even though, yes, they took out a lot of unnecessary things, but they took out things that.
Did Persona
PS2
5 have a
compatibility.
PlayStation 3 version?
Yes, in
Yeah,
fact.
they did. Oh my gosh, they're at the tail end, but yeah.
Well, it actually, well, what it was is it was announced for 3 years. It was only going to be on the PS3, and then when it was getting
The
close
time
to
it came
actually
out, yeah.
release the game, they actually had one ad where it showed PS3 and PS4 for Persona 5, and in fact, well, to be fair, Persona 4 came out on the PS2.
On the 2.
I want to say 2 years into the PS3's life cycle. It came out in 2008.
It was 2008, right? Yeah.
So it's like one of the biggest PlayStation releases in 2008 was on the PS2, not even the PS3, which was fascinating.
But yeah, and so
Oh yeah, and I also like that the PlayStation 3 used to use the Spider-Man font.
Spider-Man font, yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
But to the point is they adapted well, and it's frankly the part that a lot of game companies, including Sony themselves, could learn from is adapting mid-generation instead of sticking your head down and just saying, no, we're going to keep doing the thing that the gamers are telling us they clearly don't want.
Yeah, like not bringing their games to PC.
Yeah, or like, let's come out with 9 live service titles at the same time. And keep closing down studios because they don't
And
sell.
surely they all will be smash hits.
Well, even if you take the most cynical view and you say they know that all but one of them will fail. Like, and it's you know, they're just shotgunning it because everyone wants their own Fortnite. But even if you take that, PlayStation has always built themselves, very similar to Nintendo, on their first party products. Like, that's why you get a console. Is you
I
have
just
to
realized that PS3's rack mounted.
Well,
I guess it
wouldn't
is.
say they're first party games because I actually don't think of Sony as that much on that, but they have a lot of exclusive third parties.
Well, they now have a lot of very in-house like Naughty Dog is an in-house developer. I guess you would say second-hand developer.
Yes, yeah.
Second
Yes.
party. Similar to how Rare
even
was
in-
with Nintendo.
Well, I'm just thinking like when it comes to Sega / Atlas and Squaresoft, they had a ton of they were third party games, but they had like the certain flagships, like their biggest IPs, exclusive on their console. Less so with Square over the years, but like Persona still. Like Persona, I mean, yes, Persona 5 did eventually come out on the other systems, but Persona was PlayStation exclusive for a long time.
Yeah, and so, yeah, they're second-party developers, but part of the problem with their current strategy is because they forced all these developers you need to make live service games because we're trying to get a Fortnite of our own. When it fails, you close down your second-party developers, and now you've lost all that human capital, and it's taking forever for them to come out with games.
Yeah, the development cycle is just like crazy now.
And well, and it makes it expensive, and it means that you need more games to sell just to make it profitable, and like you're just setting up yourself for failure. Meanwhile, like right now, it's the indie scene's taking over with teams somewhere between 1 person and like 100. And
Yeah, how many people are on the Mouse game that's going super crazy right now?
on the what game?
There's some game with a mouse. I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, Mina the
PI.
Hollower?
Yes.
No. Oh, that one. Sorry, the different mouse game.
Mina.
The
Yeah.
Yacht Club games.
Yeah.
Shovel Knight. I don't know how big that team is.
How-
It's small.
Many employees at Yacht
300,000 already. It just came out like
Games.
last week.
Well, and then you have the Balatros of the world where it's one dude.
Yeah, there are those.
Yep.
Yacht Club Games currently has approximately 14 to 16 employees.
That sounds about right. 300,000 copies in like a week they sold.
That's the other thing is these small teams are nimble. They're able to make bold decisions quickly, which lets you turn things around as opposed to these 200, 300, 400, thousands of employees. It takes forever for a decision to get made because of all the layers of bureaucracy. And look, I know what it's like at my company. I have a feeling the people making the decisions aren't the programmers, aren't the people who are closest to the actual problem.
I mean, heck, we could talk about Subnautica too. That could be its own topic.
Oh my goodness.
Crying out loud.
That is its own topic, and holy crap, that is a rabbit hole. I delved
guess I
down.
only scratched the surface.
Oh
that
man,
one.
yeah.
It's a good news story ultimately. I think.
I guess I just hit the tip of that iceberg.
Yeah, no, it's a fun one.
But they almost got screwed basically by the people that bought them.
But now they'll be screwed because they consulted AI to come up with a legal strategy. And my favorite part is even the AI was like, I don't recommend this. Even the AI it was bullied was telling it to like, this isn't a good idea.
Okay, apparently you can swim down really deep in that one. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a long and fascinating story.
Okay, wow.
No,
I love Subnautica, so I'm
hilarious.
Happy for them.
It is a hilarious.
All I watched was like a 15-minute video about how dumb it is you can't defend yourself in it. Like that's all I saw.
That's the current issue. No, the stuff with the CEO is far more hilarious.
Yeah, no, I haven't. Wow, okay.
Yeah, anyway, but more to the point on the PS3. This press conference, I really do view it as the harbinger of what was to come, because I just don't think the company understood, which, on some level, I don't blame them, that they're now... I
don't think anyone would have been ready for this kind of thing at the time.
They didn't realize how public this would be. Like, that's the thing, is... Who could have guessed there's going to be an entire corner of the internet that is nothing but breaking down things like this and trying to figure out what's coming up and second guessing company decisions. Like that just didn't exist.
Didn't Gamergate happen like just a couple years later?
I don't actually know. I think that was more 2012. So I think that'd be like 6 years later. But yeah.
But I mean, like it kind of came up in the internet,
Yeah, but that's part of it is they're still probably at this point more focused on the trade magazines at the time and how do we get them on our side, but thanks to YouTube, they're bypassed entirely. You don't need them anymore.
It's interesting. People don't bring up this part of the presentation too often.
The PSP.
When in all honesty. Yeah, well, but in all honesty, what he's talking about right now is actually a fantastic feature of the whole, hey, there's a PlayStation emulator on the PS3 and the PSP, and if you buy it on one, you have it on both systems. Like, there was a time you bought a digital copy from PlayStation, and it was like, if it was a PS1 game, you could play it on just about every system, like PS3, the PSP,
Imagine if PlayStation had adopted that this early. Like, where your library came with you as we went up in systems. We'd be talking.
What they did, but then they backed down on it because the others weren't doing it. And that, but now that's Valve's main selling point.
Yeah,
they should go back, honestly.
Library that you can.
Now, to be fair, as they have ported like some PS2 and PS1 games to the PS5, I've noticed I go to its store location and it says, oh, because you bought it on the PS3, you can buy this version for free. Now, but I still have to go in and manually buy it. So
Yeah.
It's
Imagine
there,
if
but
they. This is the thing that
it's not
Valve
automatic.
does. Valve's entire ecosystem just is like Epic with all its free games should be eating Valve's lunch, but they don't because they never improve their freaking store experience. And
Yeah.
it's kind of important.
Yeah.
See, I kind of feel like, I don't know, I'm not sure how well Xbox does on the porting your purchases around.
It doesn't.
Nintendo's terrible. It's the
Yes.
worst at it. But Xbox doesn't at all.
I
Something
mean,
you bought on the
I
360.
don't know.
you
They
can't
had
play on
their
the one.
they had their games for Windows thing going on, which I hated, by the way.
Yes.
But I don't know.
But
I was never
that's the
big into
issue.
Xbox
Is
ecosystem.
for some reason, Valve has had Steam out since like 06, and no one tries to just copy them. They all keep trying to copy. I swear they're trying to copy Hulu with how their menus look and such. I don't know why no one just tries. Hey, what if we just did what Valve did?
I think GOG comes pretty
Yeah,
close.
GOG does the whole like,
Yes.
hey, this is your
different niche,
shelf.
yes.
This is your game shelf. It's kind of a neat aesthetic that they're going
Well,
for.
especially
Yeah.
with because GOG's big push is the fact that you actually own the game. It's one heck
Well,
of a
it's the
selling
closest
point.
It's awesome.
you get to owning the game on a digital platform. They're the only storefront that offers something that Steam does not.
Yeah.
Because and their specialty in the games of yore.
Well, that's where they started, and they're going back to that because they have their Patreon system, which is essentially join our Patreon and help us fund the eternal preservation of old games. So they are going back to that. But there was a time where they tried to kind of shrug off. They kept them on the storefront, but they tried to shrug it off when CD Projekt Red owned them.
Yeah, they want
Make them a more
the shiny
conventional
stuff to
storefront.
sell. Yes.
But yeah, they still don't have Galaxy on Linux. They need to get that working.
That's been one of the more requested items. That I believe the new owner the new re-owner is interested in working on that. But they are a much smaller team.
Yeah,
so they
they're
don't
a
have
smaller
resources.
team. Valve's a pretty small team too, but difference is they got a lot more resources though. Yeah. Okay,
GOG
this is weird though. This
Even
part.
under
Holy cow.
CDPR, GOG was, I think, generally they were considered as breaking even. They were never that profitable.
Profitable.
And now that they've broken away from CDPR, they're kind of doing their own thing, and they're trying to make steps to improve the situation for themselves, and they're trying to move to offer gamers things that Steam doesn't have. So that, I believe, is at least a good first step at distinguishing yourself that most of the others, in fact, all of the other storefronts, don't seem to want to try.
No. Well, it's because
Epic just wants to throw free stuff at you to get you in their thing.
Yeah,
Or hold
well,
the games hostage.
and that's the issue is everything else, it feels like this is the bait we're throwing out until we get enough market share, and then we're gonna start taking stuff away.
Oh, and I love Origin when it was like, Origin, you're going to find every single game you want as long as it's from EA.
Yeah. But I did have an Origin account because
I had an Origin account because me and Bill were going to play SimCity 2013, dang it.
I got it for, what was it, Mass Effect 3. It was on Origin only.
It was required, yeah.
Yep,
If you were playing
they
on
did the
PC.
same
And
thing Valve did
Titanfall.
with
Titanfall as
Half-Life 2. They did the exact same thing. The difference is Valve kept improving their thing, and Origin was spyware. Because it just took forever it just was always running crap in the background because it's just, no, we got to make sure this is, okay, I guess you own this game, but I'm not confident about it. But no, the thing that I love about this era though is it's a very liminal time in the gaming industry where they're trying
definitely.
all kinds of stuff that they don't know what will or won't work. Like stuff like this with leaderboards and stuff like that, that's kind of ahead of its time, but they have it for a karaoke game. It's not exactly what highly competitive field. But no, it's just interesting to me. I think the biggest takeaway from this though is you can recover from bad decisions as long as the product is actually good.
Yeah, let's not think Sony.
No, but they actually learned some lessons. Now, I think a lot of them forgot it again with the PS5.
Yeah, no,
but
I think consoles in general are kind of struggling, except for Switch. Nintendo's still got it.
Well, I mean, I do like the PS5.
It's just hard to justify versus a PC.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like everything is hard right now.
Yes.
With the Rampapocalypse.
Yeah, I mean, with the Rampapocalypse, that's affecting everything. Like, I mean, the fact that Steam decks are now what, $700?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the price increase just barely too. They're like, oh.
Yeah, and I'm already trying to decide if I want to spend $200 to fix a speaker on my Steam Deck. Hopefully that price hasn't gone up in the weeks I've been thinking it over. But I would fix it myself, except they don't have it available anymore.
Real-time weapons change.
But man, I will admit, I wish the PS5 was more beloved than it is, largely because I actually worked on the processor in it. But
part of the issue you get to is, but back in the day, the reason you get a console is because while a PC is more versatile, the console had a more tailored experience and oftentimes would have features that you just were not going to get in a PC game. Like, let's be real,
it was also the fact that it was plug and play, whereas PC you often
yeah, sometimes you had some fiddling.
But the PC,
there's fiddling, there's plug and play. You could sit on your couch, you could use your TV, you could be much more comfortable than in a chair. You have a much more ergonomic controller. I mean,
but controllers have become more plug and play with the PC, and frankly, the offerings of the consoles, they haven't done enough to differentiate themselves to justify their existence for someone like me. Like, look, as much as I rag on the Wii U, you could never do a game like Nintendo Land on anything else. Like, that style of asymmetric gameplay, it was perfect for. And that's the big thing that I think they're struggling with, is trying to give you a reason why you should play this game here, other than we're just keeping it away from the PC. Like, for the PS5, for example, they have the adaptive triggers, which are actually a pretty cool feature. Oh, there he is. It's a pretty cool feature, but it's like a lot of the stuff with the Wii and the Wii U. It's too niche. Third-party developers just aren't really going to take advantage of it, because it only works on your console, and you haven't sold enough of that console to justify that we have to develop for you.
I mean, it was also kind of hard to get PS5 when it first came out. But
I have never noticed this crab has a human skull.
I mean, to be fair, there are games that, yes, there is a PC version, but I'd still rather play it on the PS5.
Historical giant enemy crab.
Yes.
I mean, there's a couple of is because a lot of times I would rather be able to sit on my couch, because I kind of get sick of being in my office all day when I work in my office all day. You know, there's a difference between being on a computer and being on your couch. Controller, you know, it's like my hands are feeling worn out from a mouse and keyboard, and the controller is different enough that it doesn't bother me to, you know, as if I kept playing on a mouse. But I don't know. There's still a difference, and also I like that I could still get physical copies. who knows how long that's going to last.
Yeah, I don't know how much
Yeah.
longer we got in that one.
Well,
But
and-
like to me,
and that's
that is
part of the
still the
problem.
biggest selling point of console is the fact that you could still get a disc
Yeah,
that has
but that's
the data on it.
That's part
But
of the
that's-
problem.
that's-
They keep making themselves closer to PCs, and thus, I ask myself, well, why wouldn't I just get a PC?
Yeah, what is? Yeah, that's my big argument. It's like,
Well, like for me, I feel like
it's the same thing.
one of the biggest flubs was when they decided to make the PSP Go. Because it's like, wait, I can't get a physical game for this? Like, that's your main selling point, and you're getting rid of it. And heck, the PS5, they have the digital-only version, and the Xbox also has the digital-only version. PS5 Pro, it comes digital-only, and you have to buy an accessory to convert it into a disc. It's like, I don't know, it's like, I feel like consoles forgetting that one of their biggest selling points is that. Now, granted, they say, oh, well, most of our sales are digital anyway.
And they
I
are correct.
suppose that's true.
Look,
I suppose that's true, but it's still one of their most important selling points, though.
it's just
I
it's
feel
just
like
the issue.
Even if most of their sales are digital, if they remove the option of physical, I just think you'll have more and more people go to PC, and if Valve ever makes a system that replicates that couch experience with a controller,
And they've been trying.
which they are very much trying to do, I really can see the other consoles in serious
They could do
trouble.
gangbusters, yeah.
Well, and one of
It's
the
like
other
if I could no longer get physical, and if I have to worry about games not being available on the newest system, it's like it'll become harder and harder to justify having a console beyond a PC.
Yeah. Well, and it's also
was it Heavenly Sword
Heavenly Blade, I think.
or Heavenly Blade or something?
No, it's Heavenly Sword.
Is it?
Heavenly
Okay.
Sword.
I had forgotten about the lady with the long red hair game.
I only know her as she was in PlayStation All Stars. Because I
remember seeing the game for sale at the GameStop.
This
and,
was a big deal. This wasn't a launch title, I guess, though. Because
No.
it wasn't listed in the.
but it was kind of like a God of War style game, right?
Yeah.
But no, it's just one of those things. You got to figure out what makes you, like, what is the selling point? And I feel too many of these developers are resting on, well, we're PlayStation. People will want us. And it's like, that is true for a segment of the population. Like, let's not mince words. Like, some people are PlayStation fans, and that's perfectly fine. But if you're trying to get that mass market appeal, you gotta figure out what it is. And part of the issue is, I think we've just hit market saturation. Like, one of the PlayStation 3's biggest selling points is it was an affordable Blu-ray player.
Yeah, that was a big deal. There weren't easily. It was one of the cheaper Blu-ray players at the time.
And so you sit there and say to yourself, okay, well, what could they do now that's similar? You can't. There's not really anything that exists like that.
Portability is really the big reason why the Switch is so nice for us. And I got a Steam Deck because of the portability aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, honestly, especially with the prices of memory right now, like flash memory, I don't think Blu-ray's lifespan should be over yet, because the fact that they have quadruple layers, quad layers where one disc can hold up to 100 gigs, like I still think that is a very viable product to still use.
Yeah. Well, and you just sit there and you say to yourself, what is there to do graphically that you can improve on? We're kind of at all we're going to care about.
If I'm perfectly honest, when I got a PS4, I was kind of like, I don't actually think this looks that much better than what the PS3 could do.
Yeah.
And
the PS5,
it comes down to gameplay.
I mean, what's the game I've played the absolute most on the PS5? Metaphor ReFantazio.
Which is, like cell shaded.
Which is just Persona 5 graphics, which is just improved Persona 4 graphics. It's like I'm playing games that it's just the rendering is at a lower resolution a PS2 could do it, because I prefer stylized. And there's a point where photorealism, like, I don't care too much about too much photorealism, but, like, even of the more photorealistic games, let's be honest, do games look substantially better than the Uncharted series today?
Not substantially.
No. And so it's like, yeah, graphically, we've still been pushing out video cards for the past, several decades, but it's like, if I'm perfectly honest, I don't think graphics have gotten all that much better since 2006.
Like it's gotten
it's
better.
Diminishing returns.
Yeah, but it is just diminishing returns, and it's about the gameplay. Like, that's what's important, and that's the part that, unfortunately, we've discussed this before. The C-suite people. Game feel isn't something that you can put on a spreadsheet so they don't get it. Whereas graphics, they understand because they can physically look at it. And I think that's why a lot of these, they keep pushing for more graphics, and it's like,
graphics isn't always the main selling feature. For some people maybe, but not everyone.
Well, there's a point where you need to tell them, hey, look, you know what game sold? Here's a game of the year, and it's called Shovel Knight. Look at its graphics.
What even is this game, by the way? I don't know.
Looks like Max Payne, maybe?
It looks like, yeah.
Is it Max Payne?
Not Max Payne.
Max Payne 3?
No,
Getaway.
Wow.
Team Soho.
I've never even heard of that game. Wow.
Some of these did not age well. Wow.
Oh, hey, it's the Rhino. Okay.
That's what they were showing off here.
Yeah. Heavily armored unicorn.
Yep.
What do they call it? Land assault unicorn?
Yeah, land assault unicorn, remember. Submersible unicorn.
Yeah, that's what I was going for.
But no, it's interesting to look back and see an adaptable studio.
Okay,
which
graphics have definitely improved over this.
Yes,
but,
it has improved. Like it's not that it hasn't improved. It's just
if
that
you try to go for verisimilitude, like wildlife, like this, yeah.
Yeah, but more
you have a long way to
importantly,
go.
In whatever game you're in, if you got the higher res version, how much more is that going to make you enjoy whatever the gameplay, what this thing is? Which I think this is just a tech demo, but
I guess my point is going from the NES to the SNES was mind blowing.
Yes,
like absolutely blew my mind, and then going from the Super Nintendo to the PlayStation to suddenly have not only like
working title. I don't even know
sprites,
they released this thing.
But then suddenly here's 3D stuff. It's like, whoa, that blows my mind. And then you go from the PS1 to the PS2, where instead of polygon, the PS1 and 64, where the 64 everything looked like origami, and then the PS1 where everything's super polygonal, to wow, PS2, like they actually look like real, rounded human live features on characters. And then the PS3 and the 360 was like, holy crap, this looks amazing.
You want to know what blew my mind the most?
And then after that, it was like nothing.
What?
What blew my mind the most was the first time I saw a character with individual fingers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Deus Ex didn't even have that.
For some reason, a part of me believed that would require way too many polygons, and we were years away from obtaining.
Hey, Folklore! That's actually a fun game. Oh gosh, I was getting close to beating it, and then that's when my PS3 died, which is sad.
To your point about the like the fingers and stuff. And how much more can we get? Like, I saw someone. What was that Star Wars game that bombed like last year? What was that called?
Wait, they called it. It was called Monster Kingdom.
Star Wars Outlaws, the Ubisoft
Yes,
one?
Outlaws. Yeah, that one. Someone was like showing off. It was just like talking about, because it was a buggy mess. But what someone was showing off was it versus Red Dead 2, which had come out like 10 years earlier, and they were just comparing
years before. Yes.
Yeah, and they were just comparing basically similar things and showing how Red Dead 2 looked better 10 years older on older hardware on everything except for some reason, the Sims on full like tree foliage. Like when you shot the tree foliage in Outlaws, whoever was in charge of that, they earned their money. Like it was way better than Red Dead's, and they're just like, okay. I don't know why. And so it's one of these things that it goes to show that, like, when did Red Dead 2 come out? That was 2014, 2016-ish era, I think.
Yeah, it was. I played it in the PS4, so yeah.
Oh, man, that is crazy, which is weird because like I said, a buddy of mine who does GPU reviews, he would use Star Wars Outlaws as one of his benchmarks.
Yeah,
and it's just like. But it's crazy when I'm like, this game doesn't look as good as a game 10 years older in it. That's crazy.
But that's part of it. Red Dead is an insanely optimized game.
Yeah, Rockstar, they spent a long time with it.
Yeah, and so, it's 2018. Okay, apparently it was a little sooner than I thought. So not 10 years ago, but still 8 years ago.
Oh, well, yeah, 8 years.
And so, but it's on older hardware. And the thing that it's... The important thing is that these older games, they took time to optimize things. And what we're looking at now is I feel like there's been a huge loss in human capital on a lot of these studios, that we're seeing, all these different, newer studios that, it's ex-Ubisoft devs. And you're like, huh. Well, Expedition 33 looks great, and Outlaws does not. What and you start asking questions like, which devs left? "8 days." I do not know what this is.
Nothing.
I don't know.
Like that.
Well,
the game does nothing to me.
Well, I mean, of course, now as I just realized, because I said like, oh, hey, look, they're talking about folklore. They called it Monster Kingdom. So some of these titles changed.
Yeah.
So some of these are working titles.
But okay, yeah, that's a great example from chat from Mithril. Xenoblade 3 versus Pokemon Scarlet Violet when you talk about optimization.
Well, heck, I mean, okay, look at Xenoblade 1. Like, that was on the Wii.
Yeah.
And
the Wii's basically is a slightly souped up GameCube.
Yeah. And if you look at all the games between the Wii, the PS3, the 360, which game had the best sunsets and sunrises in vistas? The one that wasn't even high def. Xenoblade Chronicles blew every other game out of the water when it came to watching a sunrise and sunset in a vista, just looking out over the scenery.
Yeah. But I guess more to the point of the PS3 era. Oh, wow, this is our first look at Uncharted.
Gosh, it's Uncharted. Whoa.
But look at that face. Like, that is an expressive face. In the PS3.
I'm saying, games had... Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, looking at this, Uncharted is kind of the game where I'm like...
Compare this to frickin' Starfield.
I'm just like, I don't think graphics have gotten all that much better over the past 20 years.
Compare this to Starfield. We have regressed.
Yeah?
Yeah, but that's also Bethesda.
Yeah. Oh, but
okay,
I'm sorry.
well, Bethesda,
compare Starfield to the Oblivion faces. The Oblivion faces look better.
Skyrim faces are gross, too.
Yes.
But
Oblivion's worse.
I'm going to push back on you there, Splice. I do not think Oblivion's faces are better.
Then Starfield, man.
Oblivion faces are horrible.
Yes, I'm not saying that they're good. I'm saying Starfields are that bad.
One thing that amazed me about Oblivion, though, that I will say, is when I first played Oblivion and I fired that sucker up, the textures on some of the textures,
very detailed.
The textures of the fur on animals was astonishing to me.
Well, also on like some of the metal, like on the swords, it was pretty good. It was pretty good.
But the first time I remember looking at a cutscene, there are two moments where this phenomenon occurred to me. Where one was with a movie, and the other was with a video game. And it was the moment where instead of realizing instead of thinking I was watching a movie, I realized I was watching humans. And the first one, I think, was just on some show floor. It was some high definition, ultra frame rate version of Batman Begins. And just the way the humans struck me is in their motion, is it kind of pulled me out of the movie, because I recognized these are actually people. They're doing things. And obviously, that sounds interesting. It was just the way my brain kind of interpreted it, that they were just moving like humans do. They weren't acting. They were just being human.
Well, you mentioned Batman. Like, Arkham Asylum was PS3.
Well, I wasn't finished.
Yeah.
And the first time I noticed that in a game where the character and the animations moved like I imagined humans would, to the point where it just kind of drew me in, was actually Crysis.
But can a computer
I was
even run
watching
that?
the intro cutscene, and it was clearly motion capped.
The game that made your PC cry.
Right, and this was several years after the game came out, because good heavens, I didn't have a PC that could run it at the time. But I was watching the introduction cutscenes, and I'm watching these big, beefy guys in nanosuits move around, and it just struck me. Their motion is extremely human. And it was the first time I kind of just noticed that in a game. And that's not speaking to graphics so much. I mean, the graphics certainly helped, but it was just the way the characters moved. I think it was the first time I actively noticed motion capture being used in the game.
Yeah.
No, but the other thing in terms of just bringing it back sort of to the PS3, and because we're talking about modern stuff, is unfortunately, like we said, we've kind of reached a peak in terms of graphics, a graphical level we care about. There might be some niche things you might be able to do with modern hardware that are a little more immersive, but if we've reached the peak,
some ray tracing shenanigans.
I think there's a point where if you start getting more and more detailed on the textures, or like, oh, we're going to texture every pore, it's like, well, now you're just making them look so realistic that they look worse, because
it's uncanny valley stuff.
There's uncanny valley, but there's also the reality of, people get old, age, have blemishes. Maybe I want to be in an idealized world where I don't have to worry about that,
It's the famous Gabe Newell thing where they were talking about, it was something with Half-Life 2 during development, and it was something to do with a specific gun, I think, and someone said, okay, that's not realistic. And he's like, yeah, what's realistic is having to sit there and slowly reload all your bullets, refill your magazines, and you have to make a to-do list and make sure to get groceries. And he's like, reality isn't interesting. He's like, is it fun? That's what we're doing.
Which leads us back to some of the problems that Star Citizen is getting into.
So I guess the point I'm getting at is maybe trying to improve the graphics just makes all the characters uglier, and we don't want that.
Oh, this is in that era where browns are realistic. Like, I mean, look at all that brown and that resistance trailer.
Oh yeah.
And so, but the problem with a lot of these consoles is, what are you actually selling? Like, what is the value proposition to your customer? And I just feel like they're not really asking themselves that. They're trying, it's how do we get the customer's money? And it's like, well, how about instead you just make a product they want instead of trying to figure out how to separate them from their money?
Not just their money, but like their time and attention. I mean, that's what the
Yes.
live service games are designed for.
Oh, and I hate that so much.
Well,
It's not enough anymore. The investors demand the number go up, but they have reached market saturation. They can't find a new market to dip into.
Not enough time for people to give up.
Everything
Yeah.
they've got.
Well, and on top of it, the younger generation, like I think my brother's a great example because he's 12 years younger than me, and he was all in on Fortnite. Like he played it a ton, play it with his wife, and they had a great time with it. But they now have kids; they have less time for it, and he's now going back and looking for single player experiences that he can sit down, play a little bit, pause, and just have a good time with. And the modern games have to compete with old games. And it's something they're running into that is going to be a huge problem for them. And so it's like, so what's going to actually compete for that time? Is it going to be a $70, $80 game that has a lot of, that has a lot of, you're going to have to invest a lot of time into it? Or is it the $15 indie game that I get to, if I don't play it a ton, I only spent $15?
Obviously, Splice, the answer is high guard.
Yes, the answer is definitely high guard. But that's the thing is, they're refusing to meet people where they are, and they're trying to tell gamers where they need to be. Like the number of journalistic articles about how, oh man, Grand Theft Auto 6 better be $100. It needs to be $100 because otherwise, no other game can really push that $100 mark. And it's like, nowhere in your article did you ask yourself, but will gamers want to buy a $100 game? Is that in the game's best interest? Because Grand Theft Auto 5 has made a bunch of money off of their shark cards. I have a feeling they're going to want to make it a little bit cheaper than people expect so that they can rake in the microtransactions more so. And they just never ask, what's good for the customer? What are they willing to pay? They act like the customer has this infinite pool of money and time.
Yeah, that is the big problem.
It's just to be fair, so many people who aren't gamers are making decisions.
Well, and I will admit, an issue gamers that become collectors like me can do is, if I'm not super sucked into a game, it's actually really easy for me to buy another game. But if I'm super into a game, then I kind of stop thinking about buying games.
Yeah.
So I guess there's a bit of capitalizing on that, but
I don't know. I remember last year, because Steam every year, and some people don't like it. They post their well, first of all, they show what everyone is playing at the time, and Ubisoft actually asked them to turn that off. That came out, and it's like, that's hilarious. Now, speaking of hilarious, they post, okay, what were the highest selling games this year? And as time has gone on, the highest selling games each year are less and less the big AAA titles, and they're these smaller indies. And I think it's exactly what you were talking about, Gordon. It's just like, I don't have the time for this big, expensive game that has hundreds and hundreds of hours of gameplay. It's like, I might be into that, for a certain experience, but it's going to be pretty rare. But it feels like that's all the AAA game developers are making, are these huge, expensive games.
well, that, and when you get down to it, there are some indie games that you can pump hundreds and hundreds and thousands of hours into.
But I will not look at my Balatro hours.
Balatro?
Don't. I feel
like,
attacked.
I'm just like, Well, I was thinking of Satisfactory in my case,
Yeah.
but
Sure, yeah. I think I just reached like 600 hours.
oh, I've definitely put in 1,000 into Satisfactory.
Put
But
1,675 hours into Balatro.
Oh, there we
I'm not
go.
even going to talk about what I've put into War Thunder, but that's kind of
Stranglehold! This game was fun. Stranglehold was fun, sorry.
What is this?
but but I guess from my thought there is the thing is about those games is when you're putting in all that time, there's not a huge investment, and you can kind of multitask while doing a lot of those.
Yeah.
And they're easier to pick up, set down, pause, do other stuff. I don't know. You can make a game. All of those games are such that you can do a little bit of time or a lot of bit of time, depending, and you don't have to worry about how much you're devoting in any given session. And I think that's really important for.
I didn't realize
like
Fire
us that
Emblem
now
was on
have
the
busier
PS3.
lives. Holy cow! What is this?
I don't know. It looked like a Total War.
It's
thing.
Koei, so it's probably Warriors, Dynasty Warriors of some Blade Storm.
Blade Storm. I don't think I
Why?
know that one.
What?
I thought it was the Fire Emblem Gritty reboot.
Was this
No.
front mission?
Anyway,
Gundam.
we're past 10. We should wrap it up.
Yes.
Point is, you can learn from your mistakes. Gaming industry, please start doing that. Be more like the PS3 and less like the PS5. Okay, let's get heading out. Breakfast, would you like to promote anything?
I picked up Mina the Hollower. Haven't played it yet, but
There you go.
What about it
I
intrigued
trust that at
you?
the very least Yacht Club knows how to make a good game.
Well,
It
they
seems like
do
it's-
have a
that
bit of a
one's
track record.
Zelda style.
Yeah.
That one's a 2D Zelda style instead
Top
of
down?
Mega Man. So, yeah, top down.
Okay. I've only seen advertisements for it. I haven't seen anything with the gameplay, so. Anyway, Pirate.
Satisfactory 1.2 dropped and it broke all my mods, so I'm actually a little sad about that. But they've got rain now and fluid trucks and like manual path vehicles. Which
So is that
really
is
cool,
that a
actually.
truck that like moves fluid, or is it a truck made out of fluid?
Yes.
Moves fluid. So before you could only move solids around, but now
Yeah, and that could be a pain if you can only do that. You have to package it first and.
Well, I mean,
Alright.
I always use the trains, but yeah, I could see use for that.
All right, Looney. What about you?
Well, I guess there's always Lizzie Stream I'd like to promote, Lizzie Petrichor.
Smart.
Though I guess what I've been playing is, well, I've been feeling a yearning of the mines, and so I've been playing a bit of Dwarf Fortress.
Ah. There are a couple different directions you could have gone with that, so I was intrigued to see
That
where
was
you're going.
not the direction I thought was. But sure.
'Cause, I mean, there's Minecraft, there's Hytale, but no, it's
There's
Dwarf Fortress.
options.
Yeah. All right. And then for me, twitch.tv/splicestream, been playing XCOM, been having a good time with it. Something, I don't know when. I don't know what. I still got to look into it. Looney brought it up, and then I saw some other people doing it. It's all the rage. Gaming archipelagos. There's a software out there to make it more accessible. And they have a lot of different games you can play with them. Balatro being one of them, and Hades, and some games I'm pretty good at. And so, I don't know when. I want to try and do one of these days.
I don't think I know what that is, but
So it's where it uses the randomizer format where the items people need to progress through their games are hidden in other people's games. And so you're all linked up at the same time. And so, like, if you were doing, if Breakfast was playing Legend of Zelda and Lunarsar was playing Super Metroid, the Morph Ball is hidden somewhere in Breakfast's game, but Lunarsar might be able to help him get the Master Sword somewhere. And you don't know where they are. And so it creates alternative
Yeah.
win conditions. It's very interesting.
Like, for example, I was playing Mega Man X, and I needed to unlock the Super Mushroom for my son playing Super Mario World. So I needed to went to one of the armor upgrade places in Mega Man X, and then boom, he's now able to get mushrooms out of a block, so he could be Super Mario instead of just the small Mario. And then he does a exit, and then he unlocks something on my game, like one of the weapons, say like the Seeker missile, for example.
Okay. Yeah, and the Looney's the one who brought it up, but I found a video of some YouTubers I like. They mostly do Mario Odyssey content, but they were doing one, and they were playing like one person was Call of Duty Zombies, another person was Plants vs Zombies, another person was Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, another person was Ocarina of Time, and another person was Sonic DX or whatever. And so they're all unlocking things in each other's games. One guy's getting stuck because all his items are, like, just because of how it randomized, are stuck behind the Plants vs Zombies guy's game, but he can't get the Moonstone because it's locked behind this other thing. But this other guy, his Moonstone, they used hints and found out the Moonstone is locked behind him beating this one water level, but no one had unlocked lily pads yet. I forgot how dark that was. And so it was very interesting.
Old Snake.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm interested in doing that. So if you're interested in that, let me know. I want to do that at some point in the future. Well, I just realized that Baggins isn't here, and I forgot to assign it. So I think that's a side that we overleveled.
Yes.